I'm just gonna come out and say it. I think Halo Infinite is gonna suck. I think it's gonna be another another terrible Halo game. We haven't had a good Halo game since 2010. Good. We haven't had an amazing Halo game since 2009 with Halo 3 ODST. And ever since 343 Industries has took over the franchise, the games have been bad. They've been bad and horrible. They haven't made a good game. You know, and some people might say, oh, Halo 4 and 5, they're not Halo games, but, you know, if they were on their own, they'd be good games. No, they're not. They're not good games. 343 Industries is not a good studio. They make the same mistakes with every game. A lot of the problems that are in Halo 4 are also in Halo 5. And Halo 5 added in a ton of new problems. It's almost like they don't even want to make Halo games. Because they haven't made one. They haven't even given us fans a classic Halo experience. You know, Frank, I'm done saying that. They haven't even given us a Halo game yet. An actual Halo game. I've been burned 3 times by this studio. Halo 4, which was a miserable experience. Halo the Minimal Effort Collection, which was released broken, and they pretty much just took my money and laughed in my face. That game was not fixed until 2018. When the Minimal Effort Collection came out, that game was broken. Unplayable. The worst launch in video game history. It's worse than Fallout 76. If you thought Fallout 76 was a horrible launch, Halo M's the Minimal Effort Collection was way worse. I don't even want to call it the Master Chief Collection because Master Chief is actually cool and awesome. And I don't want to taint his name with such a pathetic output. And you know, even to this day, that game has tons of issues. Tons of issues. And it's gonna be one of those games that is always gonna have problems. They're gonna fix one part, they're gonna fix something in Halo 3, and then something in Halo 1's gonna get screwed up. They're gonna fix that, and then something in Halo 2 is gonna get screwed up. It's almost like this was a terrible idea to begin with. And then Halo 5 comes out, and when that game came out, it had less content than Halo Combat Evolved, and Halo 2 and Halo 3. They treated me like a sucker twice. They treated every Halo fan, every person who bought the Master Chief Collection and Halo 5, they treated you like an idiot. And a lot of people just were okay with it. Because they were just like, oh, this is the evolution of a series. If this is the evolution of a series, then I'm done. I hear, and you know what? Let me get back on the topic. I think Halo Infinite's gonna suck because, first of all, we know it's in development hell. The gameplay showcase was pretty in general. And, you know, a lot of people defend that sort of showcase, like, well, the build was from 4 months prior to the showing of Halo Infinite's gameplay. And I'm like, oh, that's good? So that's good. That the studio couldn't come up with a build that was better than that? For a month from 4 months ago is all that they could do? And this game is supposed to release in later 2020? At the time, it was supposed to release in later 2020. So, I don't think that was a good thing at all. I thought that was, I'm like, seems like they don't have it together over there. And guess what? So Halo Infinite gets delayed, which, delayed games are fine, but the content drought for Halo has been exhausting. And every day I see people just leave because they've had enough. They're going to go to other franchises that put more effort into their games because, frankly, Halo 4, Halo 5, and MCC, very minimal effort. Very by the numbers and just going through the motions. That's all I felt when I was playing through those games. And another thing. So, first of all, the lead director of Halo Infinite leaves. This was like sometime last week. He couldn't even finish developing the game. He couldn't even wait till the game was done and then leave. No, he had to leave during the development process of Halo Infinite. The game's gonna suck. That means the game is gonna suck. We are now scrambling to find a new project lead, and I mean, now people are waking up and they're starting to realize that, this studio really doesn't have it together. They really never have, to let you all know they're not that great of a studio. But all this hype around Halo Infinite and Microsoft, you guys did not have one good exclusive for the 8th generation of consoles. Not one. You didn't have a single good exclusive. Not even Gears of War 4 and 5 were all that impressive. I'm going to keep it real with you. I played both of those games. They weren't bad, but they were not. They weren't doing all that great. You know, Sony. A lot of people went to Sony because, frankly, they had great exclusives. They had amazing exclusives. And when your flagship series has been failing for 10 years. You have to make a change. You have to. You cannot do this. I would not be surprised if Microsoft became another Sega. I would not be surprised if the Xbox Series X was the last Microsoft console and they were just going to go full-on third party. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, I'm not really even saying that's going to happen. I'm just kind of like given a very, very, very weak prediction, but your franchises aren't doing that well. They haven't been doing well since the 360, frankly. And you just, like, it's like you're just being all pedestrian. It's like you don't even care. Microsoft doesn't care, 343 doesn't care, so why should any of us care? Another thing I think Halo Infinite is going to be awful is it's free to play. When I heard that Halo Infinite multiplayer was going to be free to play, I gave up. I'm like, good, so that means that customization is going to be gutted again. That means that the maps are probably going to be pretty boring. We're probably going to have a bunch of people who are just going to play the game for like 2 weeks and then call it done. Because that's another thing. People don't play Halo. It's like, they don't play it like they did back in the day with Halo 2 and Halo 3 and even Halo Reach. When those games were out and in their prime, people were playing Halo every day after work, after school. They were games that lasted for a long time. Halo 3 was the most played game on Xbox Live for like 3 years. That's insane that a game that like Halo 3 would be played for 3 years on top. It was on top. And it's been plummeting ever since. One reason why I say customization is going to be gutted again is because customization sucked in Halo 5. It was very minimal effort, very boring, very basic. Halo 2 did customization better. Halo 3 did customization better. And in Halo 2, you can only pick between Spartans and Elites. But you know what? I'd rather have that than just whatever you guys were doing in Halo 5, because it was pretty miserable. Another thing, I don't care about skins. I don't care about weapon skins. I'm not saying they don't need to be in Halo, but me personally, I've never had this affection towards weapon skins like everyone else does. Anyways, but the one thing I really don't like, and I'm just left scratching my head, is the new armor coatings. We can't pick our colors anymore. The colors are preset for us. This is what has been circulating around the community now, and thank God, like 99% of the community is like, what are you doing? Why are you changing this? What was wrong with the previous color system? What was wrong with it? All I want to do is just choose blue and green. And now I can't even do that. I can't even customize my Spartan to be in the colors that I want him to be in. Here's a connection that I just made, like right before making this video. Has anyone ever heard of a franchise called Silent Hill? So the first 4 games from Silent Hill was made by a development studio called Team Silent. And man, Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3 are amazing games. If you haven't played them, find a way. Even if you need to resort to the Silent Hill HD collection just to play Silent Hill 2, I still recommend it if that's the only way you can play that game. Please, by all means, do it. Silent Hill 4 comes out, and first of all, Silent Hill 4 wasn't even supposed to be a Silent Hill game. All right, I just want to let that be known. But when it came out, it had very mixed reviews, and then Konami handed off the game to other developers who knew nothing about Silent Hill, who had no idea what made Silent Hill so good. They had no idea what made Silent Hill scary, and they had no idea why Silent Hill was so popular. They had no idea. Halo Reach is like Silent Hill 4 because a lot of people are very mixed on Halo Reach to this very day. A lot of people say it's a good game. A lot of people say it's a bad game. Personally speaking, I think it's a good game, but it has a lot of serious problems. And that's why I rank it lower than the other Bungie Halo games. But I'd rather play Halo Reach than play Halo 4 and Halo 5. And this all has a point, because when Halo was started to be developed by 343, they had no idea what made Halo so great. They had no idea why people loved Halo. They didn't know anything about Halo. And that's why I don't think Halo 4 and 5 are Halo games. There is one Halo. And that was like from 2001 to 2009. That's Halo. And that's where I really made the connection. It's like, wow. Because there hasn't been a good Silent Hill game since Silent Hill 3. And there hasn't been a good Halo game since Halo Reach. I really don't want Halo to go down the Silent Hill route. And no, even for a while, and you know, there's a lot of franchises that go through its ups and downs. There's bad Zelda games, there's bad Mario games, there's bad Phantasy Star games, there's bad Final Fantasy games. Every series goes through its ups and downs. And one of the biggest ones that just got out of one was Resident Evil. For the 7th generation, we didn't really have a good Resident Evil game. We didn't really have a Resident Evil game to begin with, but we didn't really have a good Resident Evil game either. But now, Resident Evil is back on track. I really hope Halo does that, and I think they need to do that by getting rid of 343 and anybody who's ever worked with them. I don't even think Joe Staten can save Halo Infinite. Because Joe Staten was brought on to work with 343. That's the only good news I've ever heard come out of this project. That's the only good news. I don't think he's going to be able to save it. I don't think he is. And you know what? I'm not going to put any blame on him. How could you? How could you save something that is just so far gone? It's so far done at this point. Halo is a joke now. And another thing, one other reason why I'm going to come out and say it. I don't think 343 should work on another Halo game. If this is not their last Halo game, I am not buying another Halo game until they're done with the license. I don't want them working on Halo. I don't think they're worthy. They don't have the talent. They don't have the work ethic. They frankly just don't have anything, really, in my opinion. You guys haven't even given us a Halo game yet. It probably wouldn't sell as well, because you alienated your fan base. Now there's debates in the community that go on forever, like Sprint, which, me personally, Sprint doesn't belong in Halo. But you have people fighting over stuff like that. Even though that was really started with Bungie, but you could have turned things around. You could have turned it around. And you know what? They almost did with Halo Reach. I remember it was like a year later after Halo Reach came out, they implemented the MLG playlist. And there was the No Bloom, No Sprint playlist. And let me tell you something, that is the way to play Halo Reach. They did that. And I was like, okay, this studio understands it. They get it. I think we're going to be okay. Then Halo 4 comes out and it was a pile of crap. Awful game. Minimal effort collection, terrible game. Halo 5, one of the most pathetic experiences I've ever put myself through. I've been around Halo since the beginning, since Combat Evolved. And I want to see Halo return to that glory. I want to see Halo respected again. I'm tired of it being a joke now. And I think what has to happen is we need to clean house. We need a new development studio to come in, and we need them to understand why people love Halo. Why do people love Halo 1, Halo 2, and Halo 3? Why did they not like Halo Reach, Halo 4 and 5? Why did they respect this franchise once, and now they just treat it like it's an addict? Being a Halo fan is like kind of being a fan of an addict in a way. We hope they get back on track, but it looks like nothing's gonna happen. If this game sucks, if Halo Infinite sucks, probably will, it's gonna be the last Halo game I buy with 343 Industries' name on it. If they make another game, I'm not gonna buy it. I don't really even care that much anymore. I've lost respect. I've lost all hope for this studio. I don't think they can do it. I want to be wrong, but I don't think I'm gonna be.